It's the new Alpine A110. Okay, before we get on with what this thing is like, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our reviews. We've got some great videos on the way. We do classics, we do the modern stuff. So yeah, hit that subscribe button and let's see what this Alpine is like. So what's the A110 all about? Well, it's all about lightweight because this car has a bonded aluminium structure. It's got a bare interior. You can see these body colour door cards. And these seats are half the weight of Recaros that you'll find in a Megane RS. And that contributes to a curb weight of just 1,100 kilograms. And in a day and age where we've got legislation, we've got safety systems in cars, that is a very impressive figure. And behind my head, we've got a 1.8 litre turbocharged 4-cylinder. And that might not sound very exotic, but I tell you, with 1,100 kilos, 250 horsepower feels like a hell of a lot. This thing flies, and because it's turbocharged, you've got torque as well. And it's just that lightness, you feel it in all the controls. This car just has an appetite for corners. And because it doesn't have all that mass to control and contain, Alpine have been able to set this up with soft springs and soft dampers and thin hollow anti-roll bars. It's supple, and on a bumpy British B road you really appreciate the way this thing flows with the road. It's not deflected by bumps, and it just soaks up whatever kind of surface you can throw at it. And that means you can open it up and you can enjoy it, and you can use the performance more of the time. And part of the reason why it flows with the road so well is because this thing has double wishbones all round. And that's exactly what you want in a road car. It means that the camber curves are really consistent, so you can afford to set it up soft and have a bit of roll in the chassis without compromising your grip mid-corner. And you really do feel it. I mean, this thing rides beautifully for the type of car it is. And what about the engine? Well, being turbocharged, 1.8 4-cylinder, you wouldn't expect it to be all that exciting, but somehow they've really got some really good induction sound going. And the response is great, and it pulls right up the revs. You don't get any real turbo lag unless you're really low in the revs. I mean, have a listen to this induction sound. That's brilliant. And in the sport mode and the track mode, you get some pops from the exhaust. I mean, I'm not a fan of that thing usually, but in this thing, it's just fun, isn't it? It's a playful, happy car. And it looks like a car that someone with taste would choose. I mean, if you look at the customer list, we've got Rowan Atkinson, Gordon Murray, Nick Mason, all proper petrol heads, all connoisseurs of driving. It just feels like it was made for the British B road. Because it's compact, you're not worried about taking the sides off the thing when you're on a narrow road like this. And it feels accurate and supple, and it's got torque for the road, which is nice. But speaking of that, the steering is probably the weak point for me, because although it's fairly accurate, there's not a whole bunch of feel coming through the rim, and it could do with a little bit more weight that you could work against mid-corner. And just off centre, yeah, there's a weird little springy sensation. It's almost like a bit of play in the rack, which is a bit strange. And it's a bit at odds with the rest of the car, which is so accurate and so agile. And then there's the dampers, which are passive. I mean, in an age where everything has adaptive dampers that control the level of damping as you're driving down a road, this feels really refreshing in that it's just got one setting that the engineers chose, and they chose it for a reason, and that's what you got. You can't mess with it. It just feels like an engineer's car, a car that's been designed just for driving and enjoyment on the road. It's not chasing performance, it's not chasing outright grip, it's just chasing fun, and I love it for that. So when you're looking to just dissect a road like this, it really is brilliant. But what happens when you push it a bit harder? Well, it has got a little bit of understeer built into the chassis, which isn't really a problem because you can really chuck it in and get that mid-engine feel of it rotating on entry, which is nice. But then when you get on the power, you do get a bit of scrabble from the inside rear wheel, which is a bit of a shame because the car's got so much torque. I thought they would have fitted a limited slip diff, but instead it breaks the inside wheel to stop spin up, which I mean is okay, but it doesn't seem to react all that quickly, and I would prefer a mechanical diff, a proper diff in this thing. And yeah, if you want to get sideways in this and be a bit of a yob, it's not the ideal car for it, and it just seems to move a little bit. There's no big angles in this thing. It's like an old car in that respect. You just aim it at the corner and just adjust your line with the throttle, and that's such a satisfying, refreshing way to drive. And then when you think that all this dynamic quality, all this finesse and brilliant engineering is coupled with styling that just looks so special on the road, it looks brilliant. It obviously harks back to the original A110. And then I'm staring at a badge that I'm just not seeing anymore, the revived Alpine brand. And yeah, it just feels super, super special. So if I had 50 grand to spend on a sports coupe, and I wanted the most engaging, dynamic, well-honed car out there, that's just the most fun on British roads like this, well, I think I'd have the Alpine. It's really that brilliant. The Cayman has lost its throne.